Peace and love. Peace and love.
Hello there.
Hello everyone, how you going? Hopefully well. Did you enjoy my little remix there in the intro? I blame Killjoys, you got me started with it and I got on a bit of a roll. With a bit of encouragement from Craig as well. I'm in a good mood this evening. I think we got a really fun stream ahead and yeah, I can't wait to rip into it. As always, streams just an opportunity to have fun, meet some like-minded people. Sometimes this hobby is a solitary one, so I really like to just build these up as a safe space. Ask anything, say anything, make connections, and do what we all do best, and that is chat nonsense about fish and other non-fish related topic as well. Thank you, Ed Star. Well done again with the confirmation there. Always much appreciated. You need to have water in your fish room. Good one. Good one, Dave. Eddie is first in house. G'day, Eddie. Actually, Ed squared. So we had two Eds, Eddie and Ed Star. Hello to you. I was vigorously searching for a sound effect for you guys. I was trying to find a bit of a Pauline Hanson-esque lock it in, Eddie, something like that. But alas, to no avail. I'll keep looking. If you have any requests as well for audio clips, then please let me know and I'll try and accommodate. Kragos was third in the house.
Bring out Gday!
I still need to
Bring out Gday!
increase that a little bit. Remind me through the week and I'll have to do that. Ead, hello to you. Ead. T to the Bone is in the house as well. G'day, T-Bone. John Maud, how is the middle of nowhere today? Hopefully going well. Mystery Snail Guardians, hello to you. Hopefully things are going well. I think that's a new name, or perhaps a more favourable time for you. Oh, good to have you in the house. Killjoys, of course, is here. Peace and love. Thank you.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you. Thank you.
Jackson Roberts, oi indeed. Oi to you as well. Betty's Aquatics made one of my cichlid caves and has had some good success with epistogramas. Fantastic work, mate. Great job. Great to hear. Success all around. It's good to know that my stuff is applicable to fish across the ditch as well. Douglas, how you going? From Queensland, Australia. Hopefully you're going well. Probably a bit nice and toasty over there, not quite trackies and jumper weather like I'm dealing with right now. Knob Virus, how's it going? Always good to see you. We've got some chatter going on. Blakey Howden, thank you as well.
My name is Blake.
$5 dues.
Blake. What? Do you want to go to war, Malaki?
Thanks so much. Super super generous. Well, you're just dropping super chats everywhere. Good to see you getting hype. All aboard the hype train. Pete O'Brien, how you going? Peter, hopefully well. And now I think we're just about caught up. Dave's Aquarium thoughts. Fantastic to see you as well. Chevy Birkinshaw sneaking in the back there. How you going, Chevy? Good to see you. And Jonga, loving the intro music. Thank you. Credit for that goes to Stream Beats by Harris Heller. It is 100% copyright free, so if you want to use it in your videos or streams, that's what it's developed for. So you can find it on Spotify if you like. Stream Beats, no sponsorship or anything, just good quality free music for content creators or enthusiasts. You can always just put it on while you're studying, do whatever you like. Will Drummond, hello to you. Hopefully you're going well. We've only been locked down for a week in New Zealand. I'm sick of it. Oh, don't get me started about lockdowns. That's okay. We've got each other, and luckily we don't need to go anywhere to enjoy our fish rooms or pseudo fish rooms if you're in between current fish room setups. Wake up Brian, hello to you. Fancy looking bowl of water you've got there as well. Reject from space. Got a question. Hey mate, I'm struggling to breed stir-by cories. Any tips? Yes, I got what will I give you? 3 tips. Any corridors though, really. Feed worms. Lots of worms. Corridors favorite treat is worms of any description. Black worms, blood worms, freeze dried black worms or blood worms, or tube effects worms. Any worms. It's like catnip for cories. Second, do a large volume cold water change. Actually, that's the third thing. So the first alright, we'll start again. First thing is feed a good amount. Actually, first thing, oh geez, I've really messed this up. I'm just trying, okay, we're on the fly here. Reject from space, this is what you do. If I'm you and I'm trying to breed stir-by cories, don't feed anything for like 3 or 4 days. Give them a simulation of a dry season, right? There's not much food around, there's not rain or anything. 4, maybe 5 days. Don't feed them a lot at all. Then you feed them worms like catnip for cories, as we just discussed, of all kinds. Then do a large volume water change with water that's about 2 or 3 degrees cooler than the water that you keep them in. And that, my friend, is how you'll breed those cories. Also, be mindful that they'll lay on the glass, so it's best to do it in a species-only aquarium, and it's best to be able to check on them in the morning. Otherwise, you might find that they're just doing the breeding, but eating them shortly after. Hopefully that helps in a very, very roundabout way. He had a lockdown for 10 weeks plus in Sydney. Womp, 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 womp. Let's not get bogged down in the politics and lockdowns and all that stuff. We're here to have fun. We know that white noise is happening out there, but yeah, for at least the next hour, let's just enjoy everything that this hobby has to offer and forget about all that stuff. Am I drunk? Negative. I'm on the Pepsi Max, nectar of the gods. I don't really drink that much anymore. Not that I really drank that much at all. Anyway. Peter O'Brien, how did my Chihiros doctor go? Does it work? Short answer is, I think it works, but in a very, very niche condition. I think in most cases a UV sterilizer is going to do a lot better than the Chihiros doctor anyway, which I think I said in the video. I hope I did anyway, or at least pinned a comment later. It has a lot of risks to it. If you leave it on, and a lot of people accidentally do, then it can really just suck all the oxygen out of your aquarium. So I did lose some fish. I lost my ember tetras that way by forgetting to turn it off, because an hour is a long time and you get distracted very easily. So I would recommend, if you have one and you intend to use it on the startup phase of any aquarium, which is really all that it's used for, make sure you set it up on a timer. Otherwise, especially if there's inhabitants in the tank, they are at risk. So option A, get a UV sterilizer instead. Option B, definitely put it on a timer. Watch the Spider-Man trailer. I watched somebody react to the Spider-Man trailer, and it looks good. It looks very good. But these multiverse things, they can be either very good or very bad, I think, Rhino. So hello to you as well, Chloe. I don't know. We might have to have a bit of a chat about it in the Discord. Maybe, actually, yeah, Rhino, if you want to have a bit of a chat about it, drop the YouTube link to the trailer in the Discord and we'll have a chat about it. We'll see what the Discordians think about that. Kathy Doro, how you going? Kathy, good to see you as well. How long do you find Bristlenose eggs take to hatch? My family member has had a spawn. They want me to take from them. Eggs were laid Monday night. That's pretty warm. Maybe... yeah, they'll probably hatch tonight. What's tonight? Thursday. Yeah, you're on the same day as me, aren't you? So, yeah, I'd reckon they'd hatch tonight if they haven't already. Especially at that temp. I would have probably said 3 days, so 3 to 5 days. Tips on breeding Bristlenose. I don't really find that it's that hard. If you've definitely got males and females that are old enough to breed, it's probably a case that you don't have enough caves. Have one-way caves that the male can... basically, they breed by trapping a female in an area, so the caves have to be one-way caves without enough room for the female to turn around in, so that she can basically be trapped. And if you've got one-way caves like that, then you probably just don't have enough of them. Maybe the males are too busy duking it out for the perfect cave rather than worrying about what the ladies are doing. So other than that, clean water and nice food. Some good foods to feed as well, like some cut zucchini. Rinse it off first so that there's no nasties in the water, but other than that, shouldn't be too hard. Sink it down with a fork or something like that. Does this Cory breeding trick work for angels and rams? Also, definitely works for angels. Unfortunately, I've never bred rams, so I haven't yet. So I would fairly suggest that it would. Just generally what we're trying to achieve, Arnab, with that is simulating a rainfall event, which it's a innate thing within fish that tells them when rains are here, let's make more, because the food's going to be around. It's a good time for baby rearing. So yeah, I'd say it works for most fish in general, to be honest. Tips for starting a Caridina shrimp tank Yes, Blake. I know that you're excited about your tank. Biggest tip of all, and it's the hardest one to follow, unfortunately, is give it ages to cycle. Not even just to cycle, but to also build up on biofilm and foods to eat. You're a big botanical guy as well, like I am, so things like leaves and driftwood and all that is going to go really well with Caridina shrimp as well. Caridina shrimp's favourite food of all. I usually have some down there. Not at this stage, but is mulberry leaves. If you can get some dry mulberry leaves, that is like catnip for catnip for shrimp, or worms for cories, as they say. So mulberry leaves, definitely driftwood and other leaves and all that sort of stuff, and then give it a very, very long time to build up that bacteria. You could also do the old trick of rocks outside in a bucket, swap them in and out, because I find that, yeah, it's really that initial phase where your aqua soil is sort of releasing some nutrients and there's not enough grazing material within the aquarium that you lose Caridina shrimp. And I've only ever had losses of Caridina shrimp in brand new aquariums. A wet sponge helps what? Oh, Craig and Blake are celebrating the doys. Well, we'll see. I'm just concerned about breaking a certain 6,000 day streak. Definitely works for Bolivians. True, it does. Benny is Aquatics' favourite dwarf cichlid of all time. The next one that I get. How can you have a favourite? I think I had a lot of fun with Epistogramma McMasteri, or the fish that are commonly incorrectly sold as Epistogramma viagita redneck. But yeah, always the very next one that I'm going to get is my favourite. Or the very most recent one that I've bred. Frugal Aquatics, hello to you. G'day, mate. My placat betta hatched fry 6 days ago. The aquarium I'm using has heaps of Infusoria and tiny flies and larvae. I saw 4 baby bettas out hunting today. So happy. 6 days old, natural food. Best way to do it. Frugal Aquatics, sounds like you're on your way. And 100%, it's the first week or so that betta fry are likely to give you trouble. So you're on your way to success now. Happy to hear that. Bobby K, hello to you. Welcome.
All right. Hello there.
There you go. Killjoy is £4.49, I think. Thanks so much for that. Hit that like button. Blake's Aquatics to the moon.
All aboard.
Thank
Peace
you.
and love. Peace and love. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Killjoys. That's awesome. Very generous. What do we got happening here? My friend Aiden's Odd Aquariums. How you going? How's the house coming along? Great question. Actually, that brings me to a segue as well. The house is going fantastic. The kitchen went in on Monday. They've been doing the site cleanup as well because everything outside is completed now as well. So I'm told it's going to be about 11 weeks until we're in. So touch wood, well ahead of schedule. So I'm really, really excited. I can't wait. I can't really go anywhere else, so I visit the house most days. But it seems to be slowing down progress because, you know, a watched pot never boils, they say. So I should stop going there and then I'll be more surprised when things happen. Okie dokie. Arnab, have you tried raising newly hatched rainbow fry in green water? Does it work well? It does work well, and I have done it. Actually, just recently I started up a new culture with Daphnia scuds and green water, and it is going to be so good over summer. I'm going to put it in my ponds, just make all the ponds nice and green and nasty, but they'll be great for raising fry. So it is the only way to raise rainbow fry if you don't want to spend 5 times a day feeding them. It certainly works well. Put a cave in and wait. Correct, John. Now I'm all lost. I did see Aquamate was in the house. Maximum refreshment, 0 sugar. Yeah, far superior to Coke Zero as well. Don't at me. I did also try the mango as well. Somebody was asking me about that. I think we covered it off, but my brief review on Mango Pepsi Max is that the first 3 sips, fantastic. After that, a bit sickly. Richie's DIY Fishroom, hello to you as well. 1992 Josh, how you going? Can't wait to try out my jar changer tomorrow. Thanks for your recommendation. Oh, you'll be stoked. You'll be stoked. It's so helpful. I even used mine the other day. Can I give you some advice for that? With the jar changer? Not really. Yeah, it takes a bit of practice to get the siphon going and stuff like that, but you'll be on your way to success in no time. Paul Barry, g'day from China. Expat living in China. Keep up the good work. Panda Loaches are $1 each here. Oh, I'm sure you'd have some awesome access to some really cool fish over there. Of course, big fan of Aquarium Co-op, and I've seen those Chinese fish market videos that he's done. So if you get to go visit those, that would be awesome. But hopefully the things are going well over there. Jonga, what's your opinion on using rainwater compared to tap water? Love it. And actually that harks back to the question about triggering cories. If you do have access to rainwater, then it might even be worth doing the dreaded bucket water changes with a few buckets of rainwater, because it seems to just be liquid magic and it'll do the trick. That's definitely the final straw that I put in place to breed a few different fish like the pygmy cories. So it can be that real ace up the sleeve if you are really struggling. Love it though. Beauty, I think Matt's at Blackwater Aquariums has mulberry. I believe so, yeah. 29 and 14 likes. Thanks for looking after me, Aquamate. Actually, it's kind of funny. I don't really want to entertain the mystery dislikers who tend to dislike even before I've started sometimes. So I just don't even have that window open to know how many likes and whatnot. But I do appreciate those that are supportive. What else is happening here? Kathy, good question. What other leaves can we use? Eucalyptus. I'd avoid eucalyptus. I know some people say that they use them, gum leaves as well. But for me, I think they could still have a risk of containing oils. Eucalyptus oil, especially, we don't want to keep in our aquariums. There's plenty of leaves you can use though. A lot of fruit tree leaves, any leaves from a hardwood tree. You can use things like oak leaves. I use a lot of, obviously Indian almond leaves you can use, but yeah, loquat leaves. There's so many you probably won't even realize how many you can use, or how many that if you take the dog for a walk in the morning, you're probably walking past buckets and buckets full of leaves that you could possibly use. Well, I'm flying way behind in the chat, but this is fantastic to see. Good to see everyone getting along as well. Have you had any experience with multis? I'm hoping to get a tank set up soon. Indeed! And you might have seen Tony Mason from the Australian Pea Puffer Farm received my Neolamprologus multifasciatus in the post this week. I sent her a little colony of 6. So I love multis. One of the best colony breeding fish. You can breed them in one tank. No need to separate the fry. I like to have a big island in the middle of Cereus stone, some nice escargot shells around the edges, and sit back and enjoy. They'll do all the escaping for you. Just set and forget. Beautiful. I can potentially as well ship some, Aiden, if you like in the future. What else is happening here? Catch some galaxies in Warburton for you soon. Oh, Galaxias, yeah, we need to do that. Obviously I can't at the moment, but I would really be interested in catching up with you in person, or seeing what we can do with that. Definitely interested in some Galaxias, that'd be cool. £4.49 equals 2,560 Australian dollars. Yep, you've just funded my entire fish room. That's awesome. It's just a shame that timber at the moment is $3,560 a metre. Raphael Rocha, how you going, mate? Good to see you as well. Tuning in a bit late, just in the middle of setting up a new tank. Fantastic, fantastic. Oh, that is also a good segue as well. I forgot my other segue, but we'll probably... Oh, my other segue was members. I see a lot of fish bowls in the chat, and I do have to apologise. It seems that... I'll put this out in a post as well, but it seems like a lot of people haven't been notified about my members only video. Rest assured that, you know, what's the saying? Wind, fire, or storm? There will be a video every Sunday, if not Saturday. So now I've created a playlist for all the members videos. So if you don't get the post notification on a Sunday, if you think about it, go to my YouTube channel page, scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see all of the members videos there. So it I just thought maybe they were a bit boring or something, but generally they get like 30 views, and then the last ones have been like 6 views and 4 views. So I was like, oh, I need to step up my game. I reached out to YouTube, and it turns out that there is some issues with the actual notifications going out. So hopefully they fix it on their end, but just in case, I wanted to make it easier to find those videos. So yeah. As well as that, two Sundays ago, I did a quick full fish room tour, just a point and shoot, no edit sort of thing for the members. So I will start work on the full fish room tour, full polished version soon, which also please give me some leeway, because they take so long and I put a lot of effort into it, but that might be the only video that comes out for a week or so if I start working on it. Alright, does rainwater contain contaminants? It depends what's on your roof. If you've got a lot of bird excrement or leaf litter, it depends how regularly you clean out your drains, killjoys. But if you've got a new roof and a free-flowing drain, then not really. I tested my TDS, which is total dissolved solids, of my rainwater collection system that I put into place, and it was 6 TDS. So basically it tells you that there's 6 parts per million of something in the water, but that's extremely low. So best thing you can do is buy a very cheap TDS pen, and you'll know. There's a dislike button. Thanks, Jesse, I appreciate that. Will Barker's in the house as well. G'day, Will. Hopefully you're going well. Which air valve works better, metal or the plastic threaded ones? I'm planning to make a manifold, but the best Zeiss ones are unavailable here. Great question, Arnab. And this is a good one. So recently I've been using a lot of the plastic ones just from the irrigation section at Bunnings, and then I ordered a whole bunch from China of stainless steel ones with the threads, and after experimenting I thought the stainless steel ones would be far better because they have a nice easy tap to use, but they are not. I would always say the plastic ones are better, especially for air, maybe not for water, but I just think they're a lot easier to thread into the PVC rather than the metal. The metal, you have to get your hole really, really accurate, whereas the plastic ones have a bit more give and you can sort of just get them in there. So for me, I think the plastic ones are better than the stainless steel, and even if the plastic ones break every now and then, it's so easy to find. You head down to your local hardware store and you're on your way. I used eucalyptus leaves once, had to boil them and change water for 3 hours to make them safe. It worked, but not worth it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much where I land on it as well. The risks in that case and the work outweighs the benefits. Back Room Aquarius, good morning from Virginia. Really enjoyed the plant saver video. Fantastic, thanks so much. Yeah, I thought that's a really great tip, and so often I throw cuttings out. I used to try and put them on Gumtree, but it's such a hassle. Like, I'm literally just trying to give away a bucket of plants here. Why are you making me jump through all these hoops? So yeah, they work really well. The only trouble is they're a bit contagious, and you'll find that you've got 46 plastic tubs outside with plants you'll probably never use. Acclimate's in for the Warburton trip. Sounds great. That'd be a fun day out for sure. Fruit tree leaves, lemon, pear, mandarin, olive, and cherry. Alright, from that list, Brian, I'd probably steer away from olive because... Alright, Killjoys is part of the members.
Cool.
Welcome aboard, Killjoys. Thanks so much. I'd steer away from olives just because the leaves would probably have a lot of oil, I'm guessing. I'm not some sort of horticulturalist or anything, but yeah, worst thing you can do is give it a go. You can even just put some in a bucket. If you don't want to risk a fish, if you think it's a bit inhumane or anything like that, which I can understand, you can just put it in a bucket and see if mosquitoes will lay their eggs out there and have mosquito larvae. So a cheap experiment that could happen, and maybe I might do it as a video in the future, is you could buy like 10 $1 buckets, fill them up full of rainwater, and then put like lemon leaves, pear leaves, mandarin leaves, olive leaves, and cherry leaves, and see which hatch out mosquito larvae. Probably be a good way to work it out. Ed Star's in for Warburton too. We got a whole crew happening here. The meetup is on in Warby. Let's go. Craig's in as well. Sounds good. I'd love that. I'll leave now. See you then. Oh, even John's coming. You'll have to do a bit of midnight border hopping, I guess. John, we'll sneak you down. We'll tunnel under the border or something. Leaving in an hour. Fantastic. Pete, how you going? Aquarium plant man. Good to see you. Do you use a tapping kit for my taps? No, Jesse. I'm far too lazy for that. I use a stepped drill bit and I just punch straight into the PVC. And then if I can't even be bothered twisting them in, I just put them in the chuck of the drill bit and then just slowly sort of press on it. Credit to Rumble, actually. He's the one that told me that you can do that. And it definitely works. You have to be super careful though. Send me all your cuttings, yeah. Yeah, I'll just spend a fortune on shipping free plants around the place. You Gurami will eat them. Good on you. Big Scotty, how's it going? Bis Scotty. Any tips for adding fish to my 60 gal tall? It's like a 55, but taller. I don't know what a 55 is, so it's good to know. We don't have those things here. I already have a fully grown angel in it. Alright. Tips for adding fish. Add more than one fish at a time. So, I mean, it's already established enough for a fully grown angel in it. What fish are you wanting to add in? That's probably another question. If you want to add like 100 cherry shrimp, it might be a bit more difficult. Actually, I think my angelfish are breeding in the corner right here. Should I? I can't show you, can I? They're doing something shifty anyway. Atkins, how's it going? Just getting ready for bed. Wanted to check in. I'm glad you did. Good to see you, Atkins. Great stuff. Alright, finally I've caught up. We're half an hour in, but I'm up to date with the chat now, so you guys did well. So, couple things I want to touch on as well. Last week, apparently it was a very controversial stream. It wasn't meant to be that way. When I was talking about my problem with auto water changes. Apparently people thought I was having a dig at certain people's auto water change system, and I just simply would never do that. I have no business commenting on anybody's auto water change system, and the best auto water change system is the one that works for you. Merely, I was trying to articulate the problem with chloramines in particular, and do a bit of education, because I think a lot of people don't realize that their water has chloramines in it. If you've got a system set up and your fish are swimming the right way up, then fantastic. I'm happy for you. But yeah, as well as that, obviously Rumble is my mate. I'm not having a go at his water change system either. So there's no like YouTuber beef. Okay. Anyway, as well as that, I have learnt a lot in the meantime. There were some really great comments from that stream about some systems that could be in place. Better not be picking on me system. Yeah. Rebel, yeah. Apparently. But there were some great systems. There was a Dosatron suggestion. I'm sorry, I can't remember who left it in the comments. But there was a great suggestion of a dosatron, which is basically a system that uses water the water pressure goes through, and that lifts up a valve which siphons up some chemicals, and people use it in agriculture for automatic fertilization, in car washes for automatic dosing of tire cleaner, car cleaner, whatever. And I looked into that a lot. The trouble is it gets down to a pretty good dilution rate of 0.2%, but I think the dilution rate for Seachem Prime, even in the concentrated version, would be about 0.08%. So it's a lot of wastage of Seachem Prime, and I'd still have to be spending like $90 a month, I think, on Prime. So as well as that, there's a capital cost of about $500 up front, which is prohibitive at this point in time. So I'm probably not going to go with that route. I am actually leaning back towards the 2 Ecotech VersaPumps. I thought about that too, and they're good, but I'd have to have very, very accurate dosing lines into all the aquariums to dispense the Prime. It would be perfectly fine to do that if I had like 3 aquariums, but I'm looking at setting up about 60. As well as that, I can actually show you a 3D image of the plans for the new fish room, so remind me later and we can take a look. So that might be an option for the future, but isn't at the moment. And also I looked into if you can dilute Seachem Prime further than how it comes, but as soon as you mix it with water, it's no longer stable, so you can't even just dilute it with RO water and make it half as potent or anything like that. So the next option I have is the Chloramine carbon block, and I thought this was a bit risky. I mentioned last time that it's kind of like, you know, the silent killer carbon monoxide, where you never quite know exactly where the chloramine is up to or how exhausted your carbon filter is. And I shared a video, must have been on the weekend, from BRS, Bulk Reef Supply, about testing and all that. And I think I am leaning back that way, and the way that I'll do it is I'll just have multiple chloramine filters and multiple carbon block filters, and that way I can rest easy at night, and I'll just have to swap out the first one, move the second one up, and then put a new one in behind. I still am not quite sure exactly how I'm going to do it, and I'll at least build in a manual system as well. So very, very interesting though. I've learnt way too much about auto water changes than I thought I ever would in the last week. It's been great, and that's the purpose of this stuff indeed as well. Den, keeping fish, how you going? Hey folks, at work but dived in to say yo while the boss is looking the other way. Good stuff, Daniel. Very rebellious of you. And also I shed one tear about packing up of your large aquarium, but big things to come. The crocodile man is in here. Good stuff. So yeah, that's really exciting as well, Dan. You need to. Oh yeah, that's the other cool thing as well, Shane. We do have chloramine in a lot of Australian tap water. A lot of people were wondering if they did have chloramine, and also I got comments saying that they had auto water change systems, all their shrimp kept dying and they had no idea why, and they were gassing off their water for 24 hours and the fish were fine but the shrimp were not. And it turned out, after watching the stream, they contacted their water authority and they had chloramine in the water. So obviously not enough to kill the cycle in the fish aquariums, but enough to kill off the shrimp. So at the very minimum, I know for sure Melbourne, Geelong, Sydney and Brisbane all have chloramine in their tap water. So fair to say, if you live in or near a large city, then you'll probably have chloramine in your water. It just makes the bacteria killing process of the tap water a lot more stable than chlorine, so that's why they put it in a lot of big municipal areas. It says 250 grams treats 240,000 litres, Is that Seachem safe, Bobby? Seachem safe goes a long way compared to Seachem prime. True, but in order to use it in a dosing system in line like I wish to, I would have to mix it with something to make it a liquid form, and same sort of thing. The thing that is different between prime and safe is that safe has no preservatives in it, so it is unstable as soon as you mix it with anything. So yeah, very complicated. A simple issue becomes very complicated very fast. And for the record, I use Seachem safe at the moment. If you don't want to use a dosing system, I've looked at sulfur reactors, which dissolve slowly and react with the chlorine. Oh, that might be a good idea. You might be sending me on another wormhole for the week. I'll have to check that out. If someone does what you're talking about, try and find the link on it. Alright, that'd be cool. And yeah, I'm certainly not an expert on this stuff. I have no automatic water change system right now. I'm really just trying to learn and set myself and anyone else out there up for success if they do want to go down this route and they do have chloramine in their water. Alright, thanks mate. Spatsy, how's it going? That's a funny name. Depends on the suburb, I suppose. Yeah, good thing is that everything should be very clear, and you should be able to get the information easily from your water authority. Understanding good water chemistry is extremely important. Yeah, and I actually do have the test now for total chlorine and free chlorine, so I will be able to determine exactly how much chloramine is in the water. If it's a small amount, it's obviously a lot less risk, and I'll be more comfortable running the carbon filtration, that sort of thing. I'll see you some good Gippsland water, sell you some good Gippsland water. I used to live out in Gippsland. I lived for 18 months out at Golden Beach, actually. Speaking of John Moore, I used to live in the middle of nowhere too. Not even a supermarket, just a fish and chip shop. Just the essentials. GRB, how you going, mate? Good to see you. Hello from Jordan. Oh, cool. Slide Guitar Blues. That's good to see you. And Spatsy's in Jordan as well. We've got a Jordan party up in here. Welcome. Oh, you're safe as well. Great stuff, but it stinks. Yeah, that's how you know it's good. You can really smell the sulfur, especially a fresh batch. Couldn't you just use an automatic fish feeder to dose safe as a powder? Theoretically, you'd still have a lot of wastage, and I'd need to buy 50 automatic fish feeders or 60 automatic fish feeders and keep them all in batteries, or and have the cycle timed so accurately that it would dump it in the second that the automatic water change system turns on. So yeah, it'd be a very refined system, and generally automatic fish feeders are shockingly unreliable. I mix safe up in a jug and disperse it in a number of tanks. Yeah, something like that's going to be fine. Like, if you use it within the space of 10-15 minutes, not a problem. It's more you can't just mix it up and use it over the course of a month. Hanab, can you suggest a few rechargeable filter media like zeolite which we can use for a lifetime? What's your thoughts on anoxic filtration, denitrification? Alright, I've got answers to both of those questions. First one, I use Seachem Puritan when I want to get out bulk tannins and things like that, and I used to run it in my saltwater tank. Best way I find to do it is however many tanks you want to use it in, get double the amount of Puritan packets. So I always had 2 bleached and cleaned, and then I always had 2 in the aquariums. Swap them out, soak them up. Fantastic. I've still got them right now if I want to use them at any time. I love Puritan. The way that you recharge it, if you haven't used it before, is it's kind of like carbon, but it's obviously not, but it's like carbon in the way that it pulls out any sort of chemicals, smells, colors, that sort of thing, and it's rechargeable. So once it is exhausted and you're starting to notice the smells and stuff come back in, you put it in a container with some bleach that has no added scents and stuff like that, and then it will basically turn back to the white color. You put a double dose of prime or a sulfur based dechlorinator and soak it in that for 24 hours to get rid of any of the bleach, and then you're good to go again. So it lasts forever basically. Really cool. and underused, I reckon. Bobby K, something I just learned. Apparently, if you test your tap water for ammonia and it returns positive, you have chloramines in your water. Potentially. What it would be is if it has chloramines and one of those chlorine bonds has broken, because the difference between chlorine and chloramines is that they've bound molecules of ammonia to the chlorine to make it more stable. So when you dose with prime in some water that has chloramine in it, then what it's doing first is breaking down that ammonia, and then you've got free chlorine, and it either gases off or it becomes detoxified. So the way that you more accurately test it is you get a chlorine test, and there's two types of chlorine: total chlorine and free chlorine. And so you test for total chlorine, and if it says 100 parts per million total chlorine, and then you test for free chlorine and it says 10 parts per million free chlorine, then that means you have 90 parts per million chloramine. So the difference between total and free is how much chloramine you've got. So if you think that you've only got chlorine in your aquarium and you can store water for 24 hours, do that test, both of those total and free. If they're the exact same number, perfect. Do you keep your Puritan in the fridge in Ziploc bags? No. I generally just sit it in the container with bleach until it all evaporates and I forget about it. 6 months later, I look for it again. I'll tell you what, Smith's Aquarium have some ripper-sized Puritan towers on their system. Oh yeah, I was unlucky. I didn't actually get to go there when I was in Queensland earlier this year, unfortunately. Aqua Pro is, I'm pretty sure, another YouTube channel that is worth checking out when it comes to water chemistry. Yeah, I think it's one of those things that you go in phases. Like, I know some people are so switched on, but other times I'm not ready for a brain melting when it comes to water chemistry. So I have to be in the mood, and when you're setting up a new fish room, you're definitely in the mood. Aquamate, I trimmed some plants and put them in containers outside with Aquasoil. Do you think it will matter that the lid's a transparent blue? Serious questions, should it be clear? No, it should be fine. It'll get light from the side as well. I think, yeah, that'll be absolutely fine, Aquamate. In fact, it'll probably help in summer when the sun is at its strongest. I thought that was an issue with test kits, that it tests for ammonia, not just toxiforms, etc. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe we're getting a bit beyond what I know, but it could be the case if you've heard that from somebody who knows about test kits. Arnab, your opinion about... Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry. Thanks for the reminder, Arnab. My opinion about denitrification and anoxic filtration. I think it's just way too much work to get it working properly, and it's not really worth doing when water changes are so fun, so easy, and you can also introduce so many other micronutrients in that process, which I believe fish need. Let's say that the perfect world comes. You've had this filtration set up with such slow water flow that it is now denitrifying your aquarium. That's great. I would still personally do water changes, because let's just say like these plants here behind me, maybe they are sucking up trace amounts of obviously iron, copper, magnesium, phosphate, all those things, and yeah, we're not having toxic levels of nitrate in the water that's going to kill the fish. But I think a lot of things along the way can suffer without those micronutrients in there. So for me personally, I don't have a lot of interest in denitrification, because I believe in water changes and the benefits of water changes. So yeah, I've never had a desire to set up anoxic filtration. And I think that a lot of people set up anoxic filtration setups and think that it's going to do things properly, but it's a lot more difficult to achieve than what I believe people are willing to put the work in for. Send me a shrimp and I'll test it that way. Maybe. Herdy, how's it going? G'day Blake and co. I have a 130 litre tank, mostly guppies, perfect. That was covered in red root floater, but over the last couple of months it has been vanishing. Have you known fish to eat it? Guppies will eat most any decaying plant matter, so I think I think with that one, last couple of months, did it really thrive for a period of time, or did you get it and it sort of stayed the same and then it started to disappear? Because if you've got it and it stayed the same and then started to disappear, I'm going to guess that it was always dying and it's just getting to the point where it's rotted enough that the guppies are going to have a go at it. That's what I'm thinking. Craig, I'm using Puritan and it's doing nothing for my tannins. Are you getting enough flow over it though? Like, I've had times where I've just chucked a bag of Puritan in the back of an aquarium, like kind of near a sponge filter, but not really, and it didn't really work that well. And then other times I've chucked it in a hang-on back or something like that, and overnight, just like that, it's clear as Starfire glass. J to the B, how you going? Good to see you as well. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you very much. What's up? GRB, I have used ChemiPure carbon and ion exchange resin in a bag. Put them in canister filters and they keep water in great condition. Yeah, I've seen that and I've been interested in that before, but I've never needed to use it, to be honest, because I've always used Puritan. Yeah, that's what everyone is saying, Craig and Pete. Maybe I just have too much wood. It's in my canister filter, so I'd think so. I find it's difficult in canister filters. I don't know how long it's been in there, Aquamate, but I have seen your aquarium and there's a lot of tannins in there. So I'm thinking maybe it's exhausted, especially if it's in a canister filter where you can't see it day to day to know what color it is and so forth. My suspicion would be that the Puritan is exhausted at that point, and kind of like this, like the aquarium, the wood went in and the tannins have built up like this, and maybe you put the Puritan in and the tannins went like that and then like that, and the Puritan's exhausted now, it's not really doing anything. So yeah, you've got a big tank with a lot of water, so I'm presuming you're just using one of those little satchels or sachets. I just made a big mistake that I always criticize other people for. Sachet versus satchel. I second guessed myself. DKF, this stream is dangerous. I jumped up to go to the printer, forgot the headphone was in, the phone was in the drawer, nearly didn't have anything to wear my hat on. What? Forgot the headphone was in and the iPhone was in the drawer. Wait a second. Yeah. Oh, I suppose I can't really talk. My headphones have these wires too. I find that finding things that will accept wired headphones these days is a real needle in a haystack situation. In my hang-on back or canisters, it works overnight. Yeah, the $40 bag, I'll take it out and bleach it and go again. Yeah. Malcolm, how you going? Now we're getting into spring. Can you suggest any fish that can be kept outside for the next 6 months? Great, Malcolm. I love this topic. And I'm getting geared up as well. In fact, when it was sunny the other day, I nearly flipped over the dozen olive barrels that are in the front yard and filled them up with water, starting to get those little critters going. Heaps of different fish that can go outside for the next 6 months. Guppies, really great. Any live barrow, really. I'll be putting probably my pseudomoguls out there. Medaka rice fish are really great. Any danios, white clouds. There's so many that will go really, really well. John Maud with the Zis airstone. I was a bit worried when I saw he had the green ones though. I'm definitely a blue Zis airstone guy. I don't know if there's a difference. Herdy, no, I started off with a tiny amount. It thrived to the point I was taking the odd handful out of the other plants. I put it in a breeder box now as a test. Yeah, maybe they just got a taste for it. I don't know. But guppies will eat anything, especially plant matter. Actually, Sir Pronolite, he doesn't really make videos anymore, but he had a really cool video of a bunch of guppies cleaning up all this purple slime algae. It was really interesting. Nearly garroted myself. Try 2 bags of recharged or new. Yeah. Why do you need headphones when you're just reading the chat? Then you know when to clean it. I have healthy water lettuce, and I think my rice fish have been eating it. For me, I have to buy water lettuce every single year because it just does not survive in winter here. So it's lucky that you can get it from Bunnings, so that's handy. But yeah, it's nearly water lettuce season, which is exciting. He needs headphones so no one can hear the video. A cheeky little live stream in the drawer. $40, $20 here in town. Uni Hill. Yeah, definitely. You can find them fairly cheap on eBay as well. I think it's called Seacam the Bag. White cloud minnows, zebra danios, Florida flagfish thrive all year at my outdoor tubs in southwest WA. Wait, I always thought you were in Queensland, GRB. Well, there you go. You learn something new every day. Yeah, I've had, even down here in Geelong, I've had Medaka rice fish all year. Super, super hardy little fish. Oh, the other good thing is shrimp. You can definitely do shrimp in outdoor tubs as well. But I wouldn't mix anything. If you're doing an outdoor tub, you're compromising visibility. So you can't see anything that's going wrong. And for the majority of the year, you won't really look into it either. So it's kind of like a put it out there, cross your fingers, and then whatever comes back in, comes back in. So I only do species, only ponds for that reason. Craig Donaher, how you going? Craig's Catfish Cave. How are your many catfish going at the moment? But I think that you're right, aren't you, Craig? You're the catfish guru. There's not many species of corridors in Australia that you do not or have not kept, I believe. G'day times 3, mate. Naughty fish streams I don't want my boss to discover. The dirty little secret. Alright, so what was the other things I was going to talk about? We covered off the issue with the members. Oh, I was going to show you guys the 3D. Yeah, we'll shoot to that now because we're nearly at an hour. So let me bring that up. And then as well, we have to talk about the Fishroom essentials that I can't live without. So certainly, I think a lot of these are obvious anyway, but I really just wanted some sort of palette cleanser of a topic that we could loosely touch on and I wouldn't run out of things to say. Big lifesavers, smart switches and good ones, and there is a big difference between good and bad smart switches. I've had both ends of the spectrum. The ones that I've found most recently are from Aldi. I haven't seen them in a while, so hopefully they come back, but they're the Belkin $9.99 ones, and they're so reliable, so good. Go D's. I'll make a truce with you guys. I'll back in the D's if you go get on board the Don train and hope for an upset against the doggies. Actually, I know somebody goes for the doggies who follows in here. Zis definitely makes a better quality airstone. Yeah, I love my Zis airstones for sure. Oh, there you go, verbatim what John Maud said. And like the colourful ones are good, I guess, but they're so colourful. They're like rainbow gravel. Like I can't show that. They're fine if you're putting them inside a sponge filter, but they just don't have the same adjustability. And my dog's eaten a few of those before, and inside them, so with those colourful ones, you shake them and they make a little rattling noise, and it's just like a metal weight inside a plastic housing. So when my dog ate it, it got all rusty. So I'm assuming that's not great for your fish tank. I can't use cheap smart switches anymore. Yeah, I got a heap of cheap smart switches that also tracked power consumption, and I wanted to spreadsheet all the costs and all that sort of stuff, but they were just so unreliable. They never turned on, the app never worked, so I could never actually get an accurate reading of what the consumption was. But get a nice reliable brand of smart switches and you'll find you'll never have to climb behind that aquarium again and sort of get your arm in, do your shoulder in the process while you're trying to reach back to turn on your lights every day. Had a chamois in my fish room for over 30 years. Would never be without it for excellent cleaning front glass of tanks. Yeah. What I've been into recently is the old spray bottle squeegee combo. I know Aquamate is on this train as well, but very, very convenient. It has a microfiber cloth on one side, squeegee on the other. You can get them from the reject shop and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, just spray, wipe with the microfiber, squeegee, and you're on your way. No chemicals, nothing. Arlec Grid Connect stuff has worked well for me. Interesting. I saw those Bobby K and I've got that Grid Connect floodlights as well. But here in the shed, this is as far away as you can possibly get from the Wi-Fi. So nothing smart is really working in this current fish room. But in the new house, the internet will be right in the fish room. So that'll be really handy. I scored a Fluval 407 on Facebook for $100 plus 6 bags of Puritan for free. You're laughing, Craig. That's fantastic. Did well. I've had my chamois so long I named it Sammy Chamois. That's funny as. Dr. Black 66 is in the house. The doctor is in.
Hello there.
Welcome. They only rated for 2,000 watts and my heater draws through them more, so the switch trips out. I need a higher rated smart switch. Fair enough. I use Arlec power boards and those single ones with power meters. Has worked perfectly for almost a year now. Alright, sounds good. I'm sold. Same with me for Grid Connect. While we solved that problem, I was wondering which switches I would switch to for the new fish room. Yorkshire Aquatics, good to see you back. Thanks for returning. How you going? Hopefully you're going well. Alright, some other things. Obviously, Central Air LP60 from Resun I've found to be reliable. I'm going to buy a second one of them because there will be a transition process between this fish room and the next fish room. So I'm just going to keep everything the way it is here, buy a new LP60, set it up at the new house, and just use it as needed as I filter the new tanks over there. It's going to be a whole thing, but it's good to have a spare anyway, or at the very minimum, a spare diaphragm. The way that they work, they basically have a little rubber trampoline that moves up and down with the water, and if it gets hot, those can wear and break, and then you've got no air. So at the minimum, keep a spare diaphragm on hand or service it regularly. John Maud, let's see the list. My fish tank essentials are jar changer, tick. This brine shrimp hatchery, tick times 2. You need at least 2 brine shrimp hatcheries. This air stones, lol, tick. Tanks and water, tick. Scuffed fish tank towel, you're welcome, tick. Spare filter floss and filter bits and pieces. Yeah, actually that's a good one. I buy the big 50 centimeter by 50 centimeter, or just shy of 2 foot by 2 foot, coarse sponge mats, and I don't really need them, but they're so handy for cut a piece off and like put it in a hang on breeder box as the overflow, or cut a piece off and just use it to clean things. Stubborn bits of algae, you just cut a bit of coarse sponge and just rub it. Works perfectly. You'll find that if you've got spare sponge on hand, it's always handy. Even just clean the inside of like canister filter pipes and all that. You can just stick a bit of coarse sponge up one end and like force it through with some sort of pole, the back of a broom or something. You'll find there's many uses. I know that feeling. Swamping large fish rooms is a mission. Swapping large fish rooms is a mission. Yeah, I'm relaxed about it at the moment, but I think the pressure will be on, especially trying to do it in the middle of summer when you're as pasty and reluctant to get hot as me. Cheers, Blake. I'm good, thanks. Gone from 18 to 24 tanks this week. That sounds like a good week. Thanks to you and Rumble for the inspiration. Perfect. Hopefully you're loving them. So for fry or for new fish or for por qué no las dos? just went through moving. It is hard work. Yeah, I'm lucky that, you know, it's basically throwing distance, so I don't have to go too far. That would be a big complication if I moved. When I moved in here, actually, it was about, you know, an hour and a half drive, so that was a bit interesting. But yeah, luckily we're pretty close, so that's good. I run dual pumps, so if one gives, the other one takes the load. Yeah, that's cool. Turkey baster, small pipettes, tick, fantastic. Really handy for feeding those live baby brine shrimp or sucking out detritus from fry tanks and stuff. And on the same topic, a piece of airline tubing with a rigid sprinkler riser. There's a packet of them, right? I can't reach it, but that's a great little cleaning vessel if you want to suck up some fry or anything like that. Also, giant roll of airline tubing. Same sort of thing. It'll seem excessive at the time, but you will use it all. Tetra Prima granules. Well, you've stumped me there, Killjoys. I can't say I feed much of the granulated food, especially Tetra foods. Not a fan. Lockie, how you going, mate? Last vid was helpful. That's great to hear. Appreciate that. Time to walk the dogs for Backroom Aquarius. Get started with the day. Well, I'm glad I could help you get it kick-started and enjoy what's left of it. So have a good one. Costco microfiber towels, 40 for $30. That sounds like a deal too good to be true. And echoing that, towels, and more towels, and a bunch of flowers for Mrs. DKF. Good one. Also a spare whole bunch of forks and stuff. I moved 5 blocks only, thank God. Yeah, similar distance. Toothbrush is good. Bottle brush, anything like that, really good. Random odds and ends of PVC if you're that way inclined, that's good too. And also offcuts of like hose, vinyl hose and all that sort of stuff. You can do a lot with that. I've not had much luck with Tetra Foods either. Yeah, I find that not a lot really goes through. I tried the color granules because I watched a lot of LRB Aquatics, but not for me. Alright, let me see what we can do here. I'll show you my 3D window capture. I'll show you the new Fishroom. Add a new source. Yep. Not that. We want that one. Alright. Done. Get rid of that. And I think we end up with half the kitchen in the fish room. True. Any future breeding plans you could leak? Yeah. Definitely just still working on the army of CPDs. I've had a few people ask for them this week, which I am entertaining at the moment. So I might be sending out some CPDs early next week. What else am I trying to breed? Just always trying to breed everything, really. This has been a bit on the laggy side. What would you do with the gold rams? What would you do with the gold rams you get with black ram spawns? I love how they look, but is there a market for them? Absolutely, I reckon there is. Gold rams are still pretty popular. She caught me with the kitchen strainer in the tank. I gotta buy a kitchen strainer on the way home. And a bunch of flowers. You're keeping florists in business by the sounds of it, DKF. Alright, now I just gotta move this window down so you can see me. There's a lot of stuff here. This is being pretty laggy as well, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, keep going down. Nearly there. Alright, there I am. I can make myself smaller. Good quality. I nearly have packaging ready, so I'll let you know when I want that little project I requested. Sure. No problemo. can 100% remember what that project was. I've got a year's supply of Extreme. True. How's it been going? Have you been feeding it? Hopefully well. Alright, we're nearly there. This is some lag central here. Alright, I think that's about as good as it's going to get. Good quality algae protein based diet. Guess who's in? In again. Bodgy's in. Tell your friends. How you going, Bodgy? You're about to get a first look at the new Fishroom. We finally got there. It's taken about 746 years. You forgot. Alright, and spare airline. I bought 40 meters the other week because I always run out when I'm doing a project. Yeah, exactly. I've had one reel for the last couple of years, and I think I'll need a new one. It's running low. Any tips for breeding Tropheus? Any tips for breeding Tropheus from Trinity? Actually, I only got my first ever Tropheus last week. Told the members a bit of a funny story about it, but it was my wife's birthday last weekend, and I was trying to rustle up some money for flowers and that sort of thing, and I took a box of fish to the fish store, and they had no petty cash that day, so I had to get some Tropheus instead because I wasn't going to put them back in the tanks. I was, that's how it goes. Alright, so very, very laggy. The computer is in struggle city, as you can tell. But this is the new Fishroom. Still waiting for my 2 Kragos. They're loving it, thanks. Fantastic. Yeah, so as far as I know about breeding Tropheus, yeah, exactly right. A lot of algae, not too much protein, or they'll blow up like a hot air balloon. But I've heard that they're pretty good communal breeders, so yeah, let me know so I can breed mine. You're too what? I think he's cut because didn't you make some sort of deal if he won then you would take some, or if you won then he would take some? Looks like supermarket shelves. Wow, I'm 746 years old now. Happy birthdays. I must give you the name of my florist. Your room looks good. Thanks. So let's run through it. So obviously this white line here is the garage door. This is all to scale as well. So, this is how it's going to operate. So along this wall here, we'll have 3-foot aquariums, 4-foot aquariums in the middle, and then 3-foot aquariums on the side, and then Kmart tanks all the way along the top. I think, how many is it? 5, 10, 15 or 16 or so. 4, 8, I can't, my eyeballs aren't working with all this light in my face. Alright, this beige cube here is going to be my desk, where I'm going to do projects and present and do all that stuff. It's a standing desk, and it will be on caster wheels as well, so I can move it around. In the back, this green box here is my air pump, and below that is a sink for some fresh running water. Thanks, Yorkshire, appreciate that. Tropheus are pretty aggressive. Yeah, I thought, how do you sponsor a tank? You already do, Ed. Are you a member? A proud owner of merchandise, which I'm wearing this evening as well, so I do practice what I preach. We've got the Jaguar cichlid hoodie, very toasty. I make $0 off all sales because they just wanted to make them as cheap as possible, and the return I get is people reading your back, which has my name on it. Yeah, I heard that with Tropheus you want a decent colony of like 10 to 15. How many tanks total in the new room? Will your new room be auto water change, or are you still sticking with how you're doing it now? Yeah, so we've had that debate. At the very least, the racks are going to be auto water changes, I think. Let me show you. So all of these tanks here in red, if it wasn't so laggy, that would be convenient. I think I've just got too many process is running. But if I change these ones here to another color, it's going to take ages, isn't it? Anyway, the basic idea is that all of the tanks in red, except that row that I was just starting to make a new color, I believe will be on auto water changes. So definitely that rack, because the drain is obviously over here near the sink. So that's easy access to fill and drain. So that should be able to accommodate auto water changes. This wall here will be 2 tiers high. These are 2-foot aquariums along the bottom times 10. And then all the nanos and odd shapes and sizes of aquariums are going to be on top of that. We'll have some frames from Priscilla MK Art and a shelf for my lenses and stuff like that as the background decorations. And you know, if anybody wants to add something to decorate the back, I guess we could accommodate that in the future potentially. Along this other side, it's not going to be, it'll be very, very rarely shown on camera. The purple boxes here are my 3D printers. Above that we'll have some storage for filament and stuff. These red aquariums along the top row, don't tell my wife that they're there yet, because she thinks that that's going to be like storage area for the Christmas tree and stuff like that. But I'm thinking we can sneak 10 2-foot aquariums up there. And then below that we've got the 4x3 and the 4x2x2 next to each other. 16. What's 16? Surely you can fit another couple hundred tanks in there. I'm really fighting the temptation to put a middle row in. There's a huge amount of space in the center of the room, obviously, but I really want that open feel. Look, if I accidentally put a rack of tanks in front of the garage door, will I be shocked in like 2 years' time if that happens? Maybe not, but you got to start somewhere, don't you? How many tanks total as well? So what do we got? I counted it up. It's about 50 or 60, somewhere in between there. I've kept up with the salt after the ick. The fish are looking incredible. Perfect, mate. That's so good to hear. I'm stoked about that. Glad I could help in some way. Those little Blue Planet sized Kmart tanks, 16 litres, are the best. Yeah, and I want them to be all the same. When we move in, the tanks won't look identical. You know, all my tanks are really second-hand tanks, and they're slightly taller, slightly shorter, slightly wider. They're a bit all over the place. Eventually, when I have this setup going, the intention is to not get more tanks, but to swap out existing tanks for more uniformly sized tanks, and over time have something a bit more professional, I guess. You're not having a better rack. Yeah, that's another thing. I really want to set up the better rack. I've got all the stuff here. I've even started. Another thing that is just out of reach. I could even show you, but yeah, true. I should set up something like that. Something like that would probably just go over in the corner. Shelf for my YouTube awards. Let's not get too carried away. It's that's very funny. Maybe one day. It will be like 24 years in the future. Are they really that good? Because I have one, I just don't know what to put in. A square coral tank in the middle will look good. Coral tank? Coral. I've done the salt for like 3 years, and I can appreciate a saltwater aquarium, one that's in somebody else's house ideally, because I don't have the energy to put into a really good saltwater tank. I thought so. I thought that there was an interest there, but it kind of opened my eyes that my interests are really planted tanks and breeding. I've seen the square coral tanks with plants in it. Looks. Oh yeah, I would do a big low shallow tank. Actually, have anyone seen those big fiberglass like kind of pools that have windows, and they're kind of becoming a more popular thing? Well, if one of those was parked at the front of the garage door as well, I wouldn't be upset about that. But I think this is the plan for now, whilst we sort of regenerate some funds and and accumulate some play money and stuff like that. This is the plan for moving. So underneath this side, I do need to build racks along there. I need to build this this rack here at the back, and then this black ones here that you can see, that's the 2 racks that I already have. As well as that, I do have this smaller shelving unit already, but it's just buried with spare tanks and stuff like that. So everything along this wall I pretty much already have right now, whereas I need to buy some extremely overpriced timber to build racks along here, which I think that adds up to about 4.7 meters long. And then this side here is what is that, 900, about a meter, 1.2, and then another meter, so that's like 3.4 meters or something like that, with a bit extra. So that is the L plan Rooney. Agreed on salt unless you have 100k for Sam's tank. Yeah, exactly. You could line the garage door wall with barrels for grow outs. True. I'm definitely going to still do ponds outside as well. I've got a 2 meter space alongside the house, which I'm definitely going to put all my ponds down there, so there will be outdoor fish as well. But it's like the double garages are designed for a fish room. Big entry door, long walls. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. Good one, Chev. I spent almost 700 on my Nano 40 looking at a reef tank. Coral addiction is real. Yeah, see, I'd rather get like some Bashirs or some nice Ultim Angels or something like that. Where are the cars going? On the street. I'm not putting them anywhere near the garage. That's the first mistake you make when planning a fish room. Indoor pond with glass lid as a table. Yeah, all that sort of stuff. I think the good thing about the plan being like this for the moment is that there's room to change, room to grow. But at the very least, this is kind of the skeleton of where we're going to start from, I think. I'm not looking for something that is going to be supermarket style, aisles upon aisles, feel really cramped, be difficult to film and all that sort of stuff. Like, I'm looking for something that's a comfortable space that I want to hang out in. I can walk people through it, and yeah. As long as I have enough tanks for the fish that I want to keep, their fry and other grow out, that's it. I'm happy with that. That way they can be moved if needed on the street. Lungfish. No, I'm not getting it a lungfish. I'll live vicariously through you and yours. Buy a miniature Christmas tree, stick it on one of them tanks. When Mrs. Blake's Aquatics says, I thought the tree was going up there. Alright, I've avoided getting up from the chair so far, but I'm going to show you one thing there. Do you know what's the funniest thing? Is I didn't even need to get up from the chair. It was right here all along. That's my life. Alright, this is what I'll do. Oh, you want to store the Christmas tree, do you, Mrs. Blake's Aquatics? Here it is. Perfect. There's my little Christmas tree for you. How cool is that though? I ordered this on eBay last year. I was going to do a Christmas themed aquarium, which I still might do next year, but anyway, there's our Christmas tree. Somebody has put a lot of work into that. It's buffering. Looks too tidy to be a fish room. Hang on. Alright, thanks everyone. Just one sec. Am I back now? Hopefully. He's there, just only audio, I think. I am confused because there's a 20-second delay every time, so I don't know what's going on. Oh, this is why I don't allow Bodgy in my streams. The amount of issues that I've had over the years with AV, Bodgy, you can't be making jokes like that, mate. Well, on that note, I'm just going to end the stream. Hopefully, you enjoyed that, Bodgy. You've ruined it for everyone. Hope you're happy, mate. No, I see where all your allegiances lie. You can go and visit Bodgy's non-existent streams then, huh? Yeah. Does he have stuff like this?
Cool.
All aboard.
No, he doesn't. That's okay. Obviously, I'm just a laughingstock. Here for all of your entertainment. Putting hours of work into all this. It's not playing the sad music anymore. Alright, Lester. Thanks, Lester. I see where your allegiances lie. Lockie, what is my favourite freshwater Australian native fish? Favourite freshwater Australian native fish? I'm the dead, Craig. Bring out the Blake.
Bring out your dead.
That was a pretty good prank, to be honest, but far too serious because it's very likely that something like that could happen. My favourite freshwater Australian native, probably honey blue eyes, I think. Yeah, they're pretty cool fish. Any of the blue eyes, really. Bodgy's trying to apologise. Oh, that's it. When you ask me for my 147 questions a week to try and help you with things, you're going, mate. You're going. Nah, I'll pay it. Long arm prawn. Good choice. Alright, I'm closing down this web page at least because that is lagging things up very badly. I showed you my Christmas tree. Yeah, there we go. I can actually... Sigh. Alright, welcome aboard. Roblox black background. I blame the kids for me knowing that Roblox exists. Well, you're one step ahead of me. Fortunate my kids don't know how the interwebs work just yet. Alrighty. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got for you this evening anyway. Showed you the fish room. We ran through some essentials. We had a lot of good conversation early. I explained the members situation about the videos. Apologies for that. I thought you guys just didn't like me, which apparently isn't the case, except for 20 minutes ago. But anyway, we're moving on from that. Nah, Bodgy's fine. I'm just frazzled. But anyway, it's time to end up anyway, so go the Bombers. Let's upset the doggies. Go the D's and go everyone else's team. Enjoy what you can whilst we're in the big Lockie to the D, and look after yourselves, look after your fish. pick up that fish, spoil yourself, order it online, see what happens, you know. You can deal with the consequences when it turns up on the doorstep. It's about, yeah. Other than that, really enjoyed your company this evening. Hopefully you have a fantastic weekend. And other than that, I think I shall catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Let's go.